In the shadows, as I look upon my life, in the shadows, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams. In the shadows, as I look upon my life, in the shadows, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams.
Good morning, and hello to all you beautiful ladies and maybe gents who is watching in today's show. This is Talk with Joan, and I will be your host, Anka Hendricks, today, standing in for Joan Hendricks this morning. And it's such an honor and a privilege every time I get to be in the captain's seat that I get to be trusted with this enormous role. I was looking for that word, enormous role.
Yes.
And I don't take it lightly. So, Ma, if you're listening, which I don't think you are right now, but in the next hour you'll probably watch it.
Right.
She's living her best life, and today we have. I think a beautiful surprise. We didn't post it, but it is a surprise what we're doing today. Well, I guess the cat's out the bag because the books are out on the table. So I'm not entirely sure if it is showing on the screen, but we're so excited to jump in and delve into today's topic. And you know what? I was reminiscing this morning and thinking about all the opportunities that Ma gives me, and something that she does that she also affords me is the lionesses that surround her. You know, they surround me too. And this morning I'm privileged to have none other than, first we'll start off with my co-host, which is one of the lionesses, our standings. And then we have the other lioness that you know, as a big fan of breed tussen a cheetah and a lioness because she moves. It is Lady S is in studio.
Yes.
I like this hybrid vibes. So today we're going to be lekker talkative in studio.
Yes.
And also to be surrounded by beautiful people. I think it's such a luxury to have in today's life that you have people that you know has your back.
Right.
You know,
Very important.
it's so important.
Yeah.
She's busy living out her vision and a dream right now. And guess who's here holding up the fort? The people that is closest to her. And, you know, I think that is such an absolute blessing from God that she gets to live her best life now, you know? So it's an honor and a privilege for us. Right over to you. I've got to get some used to the naming on the name. So today will be hardcore practice. I apologize in advance, but today we'll give over to Violet.
I love the sound of my name, you know. Yes. Good morning, everyone. I am Violet de Beer, as you know, one of the co-hosts on the Talk with Joan show. And this morning I feel like I showed up because I'm not feeling well, but I showed up. I have a frog in my throat, so please apologize in advance for that. But yes, we are going to have a very exciting conversation this morning, and I'm looking forward to it. And just to Joan, our host, a shout out to her, you know, for actually allowing us and having confidence in us, like you just rightfully said, to continue with the show, which is one of her babies, so to speak, you know, proverbial babies. So yes, over to you, Lady S.
Okay, I'm the guest, okay? I love
Are you really?
You are a household guest, a regular. Yes,
You, at this
yes.
point, you're just the host, like a co-host with like one of
I'm
us.
also a co-host.
Yes.
I'm for the status upgrade level. Okay? So I'm so honored to be here today with Anka, as she said. I'm used to say also Pastor Anka.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying Anka today
Yes.
and Violet.
Yes.
You know, it's so amazing to be really around people that can multiply you, improve you,
Yes.
and shape you.
Yeah.
And I think this is what the show's all about.
Right.
And what a great shout out to Joan that allow us today to have a takeover. To have a takeover. And like Anka said, you know, what an amazing blessing it is to have people to hold your ladder.
Yeah.
While you
Yes.
still keep climbing.
Yes.
And that is what we are here
Absolutely.
today.
Yes.
While she's climbing, while she's,
Right.
you know, out there, you
Yeah.
know, and living a best life and a dream,
Yes.
which I know it was really a dream
Yes.
to
Yes.
have this book out there. And we are just here as support. And I'm so honored to be here
Yo,
today.
like I think I was reminiscing while reading certain extracts from Ma's book, and I was reading that and I realized how blessed one really is. How blessed like I am. En ek begin nou dink nou regtig ek het in die botterbad geval because there's just
That's good.
there's just so many things that I was reminiscing and I'm grateful for with my relationship with Ma and my proximity to Ma. And there's so many nuggets, and you read it in her book, and I was very spoiled because when I was reading her book, there were certain things I was like, I know this and I know that, and then I realized the reason you know this is because she's afforded the opportunity for you to walk with her. But I'm getting ahead of myself because that was part of my review.
Right.
So, ladies, today we will be reviewing Talk with Joan's book, which is Where Shadows Whisper.
Wow.
If you do not have this book, I implore you to get it, especially if you are in ministry, but even if you aren't, there's so many nuggets that you can get from this book. This is a life well lived.
Yeah.
But as often as we know that life is lived forward and understood backwards.
Yeah.
And that is what she's giving us. She's giving us a peek into the future already and nuggets as to how to navigate that. And I implore you, get the book. So if I'm doing my marketing already, so if I'm ahead of this, then I know that it's in the bag. If you don't have the book is usually 300 Rand. But if you get it today on today's show, you can comment in the comment section so that we know that you saw this in the book on today's show. Yeah. Then what we can do for you is 250 and the book is yours. If you take a combo set with let me just get my ducks in a row, because if I say this wrong, dan gaan ek aan die moeilikheid is.
Yeah.
But if you take the combo set for the kiddies book, devotional, and the planner is 400 Rand. So that is the devotional, which is this one, this beautiful book. And this is also a must-have. Then we have the planner, which is this one. And in the kiddies book is right there by Lady S. And that is so cute. My girls have it. They can draw, they can color in there. And it is a kiddies version of the actual book for the young ones that is made more relatable for the young ones. Yeah. And then, and in the book is 250 just. But if you just want the standalone, the kiddies book is 150. The weekly plan is 150, as well as the devotional is 150 Rand, only on today's show. So, now that we've got certain formalities out the way, let me first ask my co-host, how was your week?
Up until this far.
Yeah.
My week was good. I must say I had a fair week up until this far. Busy. Busy, really busy because, as you know, at the university it's exam times. So, you really try to find yourself. I was also busy from last week, actually, to help people with last applications, people that I know. So I was every night busy with those things, and still now trying to sort out things for people. Besides my own job, I have a lot of other things.
Right.
But I love it. You know whenever you love your purpose, and you like what you're doing, you can never get tired of it.
So true.
So I had a busy, fair week, but very enjoyable because you could add value to people's life.
Yeah. Well, from my side, thanks for asking, Anka. I think Monday is supposed to be like a little laid-back day, but my husband and I are busy, at home with some extra things that we're catching up, on home. I don't know, is it renovations or just like almost like spring cleaning type of a thing. But then on Tuesday, I started feeling this, aches and pains and I think it's something that's going around. It's like a virus, I think, in the air. And so yesterday was just for me in bed, and today I'm here.
And sometimes we have to rest, but we do applaud you for showing up because we know how that feels when you're not feeling great and you have to leave the house for whatever it may be. You're like, this is a mammoth task. Yeah. But for myself, I think I had a week of being grateful.
That's wonderful.
And I'm in a stage of my life where I'm just incredibly grateful for what God is doing in our life. And what I mean, I think I found the new understanding of count it all joy.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what happens in your life. There's purpose to it.
Yes.
Whether you feel in the moment that this is now a bad thing, that something is attacking you or whatnot.
Yes.
I don't think it's an attack. I think it is, God keeping you from something worse.
Yes.
I think it's God preserving you. And for me, I think I'm in that space where the Holy Spirit has just been guiding us as a couple, for me and my husband.
Yeah.
is us as a couple. So for me, I'm just incredibly grateful. So my week has been a good week. It's really been a good week.
That's wonderful.
But let's jump into it. Ladies, if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do like and subscribe. And
Yes.
comment. I'm not seeing any comments. We want to say hi to you. We want to know who's watching because we want you to be a part
I
of the
think you were
show.
working for
Where's
the
our
poster also.
regulars?
The guys, this is a standing thing. Thursdays, we are here in the studio. We're
Yeah.
not going anywhere.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sure that the subscription bells, it's already notified you. So please, guys, do comment in the comment section so that you can be a part of this conversation. But over to Violet. You have an important question for us today.
Yes, well, I'm going to do the mirror question today. And I want you to, if you at home or you are just tuned in, to take your mirror out, because this is our reflection, also one of our signature Talk with Joan signatures, is to reflect, look in the mirror, which we as women do all the time. And so today's one is, when you look into the mirror, what kind of thoughts or energy do you try to cultivate or attract, or, do you get it? Or
Yes.
just share a powerful thought for today. Is that okay?
Yes, that's
Okay,
right.
cool.
Okay, you can go.
I better going first.
You want to go?
Ik ga last.
Okay. So I always call it on Thursdays. I always say it's thinking,
Yeah.
thoughtful, thankful,
Right.
transformational. What the other
Thursday.
T? Thursday, but
Yeah.
it's just like I like to name my days.
Yes.
So Thursday is for me that day when you just allow your thoughts to flow. So what I would love, a thought that I want to share today is, I feel like it's so important in the rashness of the
Of life.
currently life
Yes.
currently,
Yeah.
and that we should. I think I posted even yesterday that we should know that this is time of resting. Resting to find rest with yourself. Because as many things happen around us, and we are so busy, trying to fix things. We're so busy trying to do things.
Yeah.
But for me today the thought is, find your rest.
Yeah.
And yours?
Well, mine is Psalm 17, verses 8, that says, "Keep me as the apple of your eye," or thine eye. But you know what I never realized was there's another piece to that very same verse that says, "Hide me in the shadow of thy wings," which means, and so when I pondered upon this verse, I realized that we are very precious to God. And it's so comforting, especially when we go through things, especially when we don't feel good about ourselves, that not only are we precious to God, but He also protects us. And He protects us not only from harm, like physical harm, but He also protects us from decisions that we make, bad decisions, that He is there. And I remember years ago, when someone actually mentioned this to me for the very first time, I was in a very, very dark space in my life. And this person said, "You know that you are the apple of God's eye." And it meant so much to me. And this morning, I was reminded again, and I want to remind you, listeners, us, that we are the apple of God's eye, and that we are very precious and important to Him.
Sure.
Wow.
I think it's just making me emotional.
Yeah.
In the light that I'm for me, it's just grateful. It's just gratitude.
Yeah.
I think that when we come to a place of being grateful, I
Yes.
almost said we come to a place of being grateful.
Yeah.
We come to a place of being grateful.
The English.
English is not Englishing right now. Come to a place of being grateful, then we are less likely to take offense.
Yes, it's so true.
We are less likely to see the wrong in certain things when we intentionally look for things to be grateful for. And I was just reflecting over my life, and my name means favor and grace.
Oh, wow.
And for the longest time, I didn't take the significance of that, but
Yeah.
when you reflect over your life, then you in favor. Like
Yes.
still, I'm seeing favor,
Unmerited
you know?
favor.
True.
And that for me
Yes.
is just if we can consciously tell ourselves,
Yeah.
look for something to be grateful
Yes,
for. Human
yes,
beings.
yes.
It doesn't matter because we get so busy with the humdrum of life. Then the
Right.
bills come in, and the
Yeah.
minute we get an email or a lawyer's letter that dan implode ons lewens
Yeah.
of iets. But die huis staan. Die kinders het iets om te eet.
so
There's petrol
true.
in the car.
Absolutely,
You know,
So true.
we're moving.
You have hot
Die-
water.
Ons het water, electricity. There's so many people who do not have this. A comfortable bed. There's so many people that don't have this. And for me, I'm just incredibly grateful, whether it be in my personal life at home, whether it be in ministry, whether it be to be on the show. And I think for me this morning, I'm grateful that Ma's not here because no kan ons lekker skinder van Ma nie. So for me, I think this for me is really a privilege that I get to play a part in reviewing Ma's book.
Yeah.
And we get to speak about certain things in her life. Like I was saying, we'll start off with Violet telling us, or rather, Lady S here, Sonia. She'll be driving us with some of the questions just now, in terms of that. But for me, I'm incredibly grateful to have this opportunity to speak about Ma and some elements in a book that resonate with me in my life and where she's shown up strongly in my life. But over to you, Sonia. Tell us what you want us to know.
Okay, yes, I'm so privileged to drive the questions this morning.
Right.
You know what stood out for me about
Yeah.
the book about When Shadows Whisper is rightfully saying when Joan wants us to actually title this book first, Living in the Shadow. And I had the privilege that I could have many times of speaking about it before the existence of it. You know, just speaking about, sharing about how was it to live in the shadow, how was it not to be seen, to be heard, you know. And seeing it today that she have actually accomplished this, to me was like really. And you can see my book is a little bit untidy.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
reading it.
Yes.
And here's my papers. It's not
Yes.
for borrowing, it's
Yeah.
for myself.
Yeah.
And there's so many chapters within this book, Pastor
Right.
Anka. So many chapters locked in
Yeah.
up to really advance and to help us in society today. And this book is just foremost, not just for women. It's for men and women.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
for young adults. It's
Yes.
for, like we said, we have the kiddies book for the
Yeah.
kiddies. So it's a family. It's for the family.
Yeah.
For the family.
Yeah.
So I would like to start with today to ask you or Violet. I think we can start Anka A before V.
Okay.
I would like to ask you. I would like to ask you, Anka, what chapter or chapters actually stood out for you while reading the book, and why does that chapters impacted your emotions, your life while reading it? How did it really transform you?
So before we start, I'm just asking, since you asked me that impactful question, is all the time allocated to me? I'm just asking.
No, please,
Because
not
at
all
this
the
point,
time.
I've got a lot to say.
You just need to share some nuggets. Please just summarize it. We know we will never be able to share everything.
Right. It's so true.
So for me, one of the chapters that obviously there's quite a few chapters that really resonate with me, but one of the chapters was the pastor's wife, and there was a few things that she highlighted, and then in our short tenure that we've already been in we've been in full-time ministry. I think a lot of people don't realize that we've been in full-time ministry for over 14 years.
Wow.
My husband has been over 14 years, and I've been for the past 11 years. I've been in full-time ministry. It's only now that we are in, let's say, senior position.
Yes.
We had a senior position. It's just we didn't have the senior position we have
Right.
right
That's
now.
right.
You know, but in this space of being at the forefront, being the captaining the ship now, I think we've learned a lot in the last year. I've learned so many incredible lessons, and some of what Maz already has put in this book that she's learned over a couple of years. I've learned some of it in a compressed time.
Yeah.
One of the things was that she, when her husband was called into ministry, she was just there at the brink of, there was no handbook, no one to take her hand. And that's a luxury that I have.
Yeah.
At first you do take it for granted, van jy
Right.
aanvaar dit vir vanselfspreker, and then
Yes.
when you read and you listen and you hear her stories and all the things that she had to make through with no one there to guide her.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told the story so many times that I was always the one making up excuses. No, ma, I can't do it now. No, ma, the kids. No, ma, that. And then the one day she just kicked me over the ledge, and she said, over the edge, and she just said, nee man. She has this thing that she says, y'all know, and she said that to me, and it was like a rude
Like,
awakening.
enough now. It's
enough now. Because she could see through the fact that she was accommodating my excuses, and she could see through the fact that I was making excuses, and she pushed me over that. But she didn't just kick me over the edge and then leave me there.
Right.
And I think that is the luxury that I have. Not very many people is afforded this. And even if their parents are alive, or if their predecessors are alive, they don't have this luxury.
Yes.
And for me, I was afforded that, where I get to say things or do things and first ask, ma, is this okay? Will this work? Or when I'm not feeling great at that point, whatever I'm supposed to be doing, I can then speak to ma about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's a luxury I think not everybody has. But, she had the Holy Spirit. We're not negating that.
Yes.
But to have someone here right now taking that. Another thing that she mentioned in that chapter for me was, I did make a little bit of a highlight there, is give people the room to change, but not the permission to continue harming you. One of the biggest lessons we've learned so far is that very many people are capable of hurting you. And a lot of the times we think that we must just be okay with it. We don't have to be okay with it. We don't have to allow them to continue being in our lives. Meaning to say that I forgive you and just let them do it again. I forgive you and just let them do it. That's not what forgiveness means. And forgiveness doesn't generally mean that you have to wait for them to come say sorry, but it's learning to forgive them for you.
That's right.
Not because they ask you to forgive, but for you. And then being okay with seeing them, but you don't have to have them in your lives as no constant. You don't have to go sit and have lunch with them. You don't have to go sit and do that. But you were okay with them being in the room, and you were okay. Those are some of the lessons that I've learned. There's more, but I think I'll step back.
And that is chapter?
That is chapter 4.
Chapter 4. Okay, so what you basically say, Pastor Anka, is this book came right in time for you. Although Joan was always actually teaching you those things, now you have a reference. We call it reference in research. You have a reference to go back every time, because sometimes we don't grasp everything, but many times things happen and then you're like, okay, I heard that, but let me go back and go see how can I really, the moments, because I like after every chapter there's moments of stillness, and how can I answer the questions in my moment of stillness. So thank you so much for sharing that. We want to come back to you. So Violet, if you can share a particular chapter or chapters, or as we go on we can share more chapters, what actually stood out for you and why?
Well, thanks, Sonia. For me, I first want to commend Joan for, putting all of these books together. I think she deserves an applause for it. It is very well done. When I actually, what stood out for me was chapter 1. When I read chapter 1, once upon a time, it sounded like a fairy tale. And the way, the language, the style of writing, it actually encouraged me to look up the different styles.
That's right.
And I think I had the conversation with Doc and her. And I'm not too sure, I'm not going to lie to you, but I think it's a narrative style. It's a storytelling.
That's right.
And a little bit of descriptive, she describes, the way she describes Rivoli, it was just amazing to me, And so the usage of language was just amazing. I like, maybe if you don't know it about me, I like language. And I like to learn new words. And so for me, her usage of a vocabulary is very good.
That's right.
So yes, so this Once Upon a Time just got to me. Like I said, it's an easy read. The book is an easy read. So it really appeals to me. But what stood out for me was the fact that Joan was already called then. When she was a little girl. God already had his hand upon her. I was thinking, the fact that she can pray the way she prays. It didn't happen overnight. God earmarked her. the people that was in her life, the mentors that she mentions in the book, Uncle Bar and Auntie Lolly, and how they impacted her life, made me realize that we should not forget that we are impacting other people's lives as
Yeah.
well.
Absolutely.
And that one day they can look back
True.
and say Auntie Violet or Pastor Violet or Pastor Uncle or Auntie Sonia or Lady Sonia or Pastor Sonia.
Yeah.
Or, they would also be able to say that about us, that as we journey through this life, that we need to leave a legacy. And I believe that is what Joan has already done. She's left a legacy. She's already leaving a legacy.
Legacy.
Yes,
Yes.
Anka,
That's
proof
right.
of it.
That's
The impact that she has had on her life, mentoring her. So yes, that's for me. In a nutshell, and I could relate to the culture of the day as well, the apartheid era,
Yeah.
and that she stood out despite the apartheid era,
right.
that she found her place
That's right.
in life, in society, that she found her purpose. So for me personally, when I read this book, I would like every woman who is going, what I've taken for myself
That's right.
is that it challenged my faith walk with God. It just reading her book made me challenge, feel like I'm challenged.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so I would recommend it to all kinds of ladies, whether you are going through something or whether you just feel stuck or whether you
right.
just want to, what is that word, reinvent yourself
yes.
or feel refreshed
Unlearn
or
and relearn.
unlearn. Oh, you go, girl, unlearn and relearn. Yes. And then the questions.
Yes.
Have you noticed the questions
right.
that she poses, like moments of stillness?
That's right.
I find that very valuable.
Absolutely.
And it also coincides with the devotional, which I cannot tell you how this has blessed my heart. Speak truth.
Yeah.
The one where shadow speaks truth. This one I would recommend to everyone. I have a copy of it, and I'm making notes inside of it.
Absolutely.
And it's I bought one for my daughter as well, and we've shared on the phone. A devotion already. It is an amazing book.
Wow.
And you can reflect as well. There's a part to reflect. There's a prayer that goes along with
Absolutely.
it. So yes, my airtime is finishing. I need to cough.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Violet. But thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing the parts or the chapters that really have impacted your life
Yes.
thus far. We're going to continuously unfold and share about it. However, Violet was just mentioning now the moments of stillness after every chapter.
Yes.
And because of my life coaching background,
Yes.
I love to be I like to be challenged with questions.
Yes.
And for me it was chapter 5, marriage. Oh, shout out to the Love Link, the marriage camp is coming up.
Yes.
So that is my heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when Joan was really, speaking about the marriage and the moments where she was saying to her husband how she missed him,
Yes.
how
Yeah.
they drift apart.
Yeah.
Unknowingly.
Yes.
And that to me could really resonate with me, reflecting back on when we had the ministry, how we were focusing on the people and how to build the ministry,
Yes.
and never took time out to build each other. So that moment when she asked, what does the phrase marriage in ministry mean to you personally? That answer to me was, it means to me, not while you nurture the congregation, nurture each other.
Yeah.
And that is what we miss sometimes. We don't nurture each other. We're so focused. When we speak, we're so focused on how to assist brother this and this, how to help the family of this, but we actually derail to helping our own family.
Yeah.
And I have experience of that. So when I read this specific chapter, I was so emotional and think like, wow, if we knew beforehand,
Yes.
I wouldn't have made the mistakes that we have made in
So
our
true.
marriage and ministry, because
So
it
true.
goes hand in hand. So I would like to know from you, within the chapters that you were sharing, was there a specific question that you have answered for yourself in your moment of stillness?
Before we get to that,
That's
can
right.
I just feel prompted to add on to the one that you mentioned about the marriage, where Joan said that she missed she misses her husband. She actually told him, I miss you.
Yeah.
I think it's so important to stay emotionally connected
true.
to our spouses.
That's right.
One needs to work on it, because I think when we have children and responsibilities, we forget that we need to listen to one another. We need to create moments where the couple, as a couple, you need to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
To just be alone with your spouse and say, hey, I need you, and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But sometimes we allow that feeling to bring resentment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we push one another away, and you allow the wall to become higher and
That's
higher.
right. That's right.
Yes.
That's
So
right.
I just wanted to reiterate,
I so
because I think
love
it's
that.
very important.
Very important.
That we stay emotionally connected.
inclined and
Yes,
connected.
connected to each other. Yes.
Oh, that's so powerful.
But
And-
otherwise you coexist.
yeah,
You
together.
become
definitely.
roommates.
You become roommates,
Definitely.
brothers and sisters
brothers
in
and
Christ.
sisters in Christ.
Die broer.
My brother, my sister.
While we're on there was another question on the moments of stillness.
Yeah.
What boundaries could help nurture intimacy and connection in your marriage? I think it was question number 3. I wrote it even down there.
Yeah.
What boundaries? And that is exactly what Violet was like answering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The acts of service, the love language.
Yeah.
You know, how we could actually make sure
Yeah.
that it stay intact.
Yes.
You know, and we don't derail from it.
Yeah.
While growing the ministry, and we also need to grow in our love language towards each other.
Yes.
Because then we actually can do acts of service to people.
Yeah.
In ministry, but we don't do acts of service to family, to your
Right.
husband, to your wife, to your children. Because I always have said to my husband, we married in community of property, but you in the community and for the property. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that, because you feel like you need to organize the holidays. You need to make sure things are clear, the diaries is clear. You need to make
Yeah.
sure. And the community needs you, bruh. It's like,
Yeah.
I have a community meeting. This auntie's child needs to be helped. And you're all there.
Yeah, but
but
you're
you're not
here.
here.
Yeah.
So there's kind of boundaries we need to put in place. Not
Yeah.
to really overstep.
Not to overstep.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a healthy marriage, you cannot be healthy in ministry.
So
Exactly.
true.
And I think that's one of the lessons we got
Yeah.
from Amanda.
Yeah.
Is to really, you must focus here. I know that there's elements with my own husband. When he gets passionate, he's extremely passionate. You have to pry him away from whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Then especially when we first got married, then they had to say to him, "Gaan huis toe. Gaan maak seker jou vrou en jou kind is
Yeah.
alright." At that stage we only had one child. Gaan maak seker die ligte is aan. Gaan huis toe. Gaan maak seker alles is alright by die huis. Because ultimately we have to remember that yes, we're doing this for God, but ultimately it's his
Absolutely.
ministry.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And he wants you to be good as well.
Absolutely.
As much as you're doing, you have to allow him to do work through you, but you have to be healthy as well, and he wants that for you, and putting those boundaries in place.
Absolutely. So any
So
other
what-
moments of stillness that you
Oh.
reflect on your chapters?
I think for me it was 2 that stood out.
Okay.
Are you holding anything back from God that He's calling you to surrender?
Sure.
There was
What
that.
is it?
That's a heavy one.
That's very
I don't think you want me to say that.
public say that will bring deliverance.
I can
That
to
will
lay
bring
hands on
deliverance. It's like it's out there.
Why
I think it's personal. It's a personal
as
thing.
long as you have answered personally.
But then there's one that also challenged me, and it was, when was the last time you shared your story of faith with someone? And now I don't mean like on a platform like with ladies
Yes,
or
yes,
something,
yes.
but just in life, everyday life.
Yes, true.
I think we should be that is a very and this was the evangelist Joan here, the author. I
yeah.
think
That's
that
right.
because she mentions here the fact that what are the buses in your daily life, and this was coming from the fact that when she was young as a teenager. It says in a book that they used to go on buses and minister. And I remember that era. I remember those days, and it was safe to do so.
Absolutely.
To go and witness and just. But I don't think today I don't know, is it the circumstances of the day? Is it the society? Is it the culture? Are we afraid? Are we, mindful of the fact that people will be embarrassed
That's right.
to witness? Ons daar staan nie meer op die hoeke van die
straat
straat
nie.
mense
True.
en am I right or wrong?
True.
It's or is it not applicable to do today? So that challenged me.
Yes,
The point
yes.
is that challenged me.
Wow.
When last did you
Yes.
share, like randomly?
That's right.
Like maybe the lady at the cashier.
That's right.
Did you share your faith with
Faith,
someone
yeah.
or your neighbor or is that passion? Is that
That's
fire
right.
gone?
That's right.
Are we just going through the motions?
Exactly
Are we just,
right.
and that also made me realize personally that we can be so busy with God's work that we are not busy with Him. Because if we are busy with Him, we would have that passion to share with others. Do you know Jesus Christ?
That's right.
I still need that braveness in a restaurant to ask someone.
Somebody.
And I know your husband has that.
Yeah, he does.
He has that
Yeah.
evangelistic.
I'll do the hang.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you know Jesus?
Jesus.
I want to be able to ask.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Vi. I just want to come in there where you were asking the question. You don't know, is it applicable in today's life?
Yeah.
We are so privileged today that yet, even if you don't go out to the street and tell
Yeah.
somebody, we have I always telling you guys about this black little thing in our
Yes,
hand.
yes, yes,
We
yes.
don't use it to the fullness.
That's so true.
I mean, why can't you just ask a question on your WhatsApp status and ask somebody
So
today?
true.
When you read my status,
Yes.
did you ever make the decision with Jesus Christ? Did you ever? And that person will maybe prompt you to answer, because I like to ask questions on my WhatsApp status and people will respond sometimes,
Yeah.
But do we do it? Do we pose a question like that so somebody can be intrigued and like, why would this person ask today this? And like, ma'am, I need prayer. And then you engage with a person. And that is, we still can do it, but we have different forms and platforms now.
Yeah.
I
how we
was
can do it.
just going to say that what you just said now, the
Yeah.
answer to my question, is it still applicable
That's
today? In a sense, no. Because the platforms that we have today
different.
is the digital platforms.
right, yeah.
So say something on Instagram to pronounce your faith, to declare your faith. Or no, I'm not a TikTok person. I don't like
me
TikTok.
either.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean, I get you. It's gonna be more relevant to do
Definitely.
that on one
Definitely.
status for WhatsApp.
It just needed braveness
Yes.
and boldness.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually what you wanted to say, what we're lacking in today's society.
Yes.
And when Joan and them were on the buses and spreading the gospel,
The
they
Great
were
Commission.
brave enough.
Yes.
They were bold enough.
Yes.
And I think that is what we actually need to look at. Isn't there a lack in boldness and braveness? Like when the other day when Doka had to announce auto call and say, I want to pray for people to be bold enough,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
be brave
Yes,
enough.
yes.
And I think that is what we
Yeah.
lack in today's society.
Yeah.
So going on, I so love this. First, Anka, thank you for the seat. So my next chapter that I really was is intrigue or love is identity. It's just the next chapter after marriage. And I could understand why Joan have outlined like that. Because marriage, you together.
Yeah.
You more like have a marriage connection and your identity is fine. And then when she came to identity, she have a particular portion that she said, you should have your own identity. And for me, it's like, what stood out for me, if I'm not going to be Sonia, who do I think must be Sonia? You know what I mean? I cannot be Sarah Jakes, even if my name starts also with an S.
Yeah.
I need to be Sonia,
Yeah.
I need to have my own identity, I need to have my own character, I need to have when I walk in the room, even if Pastor Anka don't see me and she heard my voice, it's like, that's Sonia coming there.
Yeah.
So I need to have my trademark, myself, my brand, And I think that's what stood out for me about the chapter when Joan was like, you need to have your own identity.
Yes.
And I so love it. Besides being married, don't call me Pastor Denver's wife. I am Sonia, beautiful wife. You know, sexy wife.
Yeah.
That words don't even going to move me.
Right.
Just call me Sonia.
Sonia,
That's
yes.
who I am. And that is what stood out for me about identity. What stood out for you in your next chapter?
My next chapter is inferiority.
I love that.
And that for me is it speaks, because I do think a lot of us do struggle with some of that. For me, it was where people ask you to do certain things and then you feel like, no, but there are some other people that have, they can do it better.
That's
You know, there's
yeah.
other, and then the people
Sounds
start
very
asking you
familiar
to do
to me.
yeah, and then the people start asking you to do something, and then you're like, yeah, ek was maar ook maar inferior.
Yeah.
But you forget, you don't realize that you played into that narrative
Right.
for you to then fall back into the shadows, where God wants to get you out of. And some of the things, one of the questions, I know that I'm jumping the gun now,
Yeah.
but one of the questions is that you asked you was, what would change in your life if you believed God's view of you? And a lot of the times God will show, like the Holy Spirit will show me, like where I'm supposed to be, my trajectory of my life, and then that doubt seeps in, and then nothing makes sense. Then whatever I've prepared that doesn't look like it's prepared, and then the nerves get the better of you. You're like, yeah, but there's other people, I can't do it like mine. I think for me, that is one of the big things, because ma can pray. Sy kan, you also say, Afrikaanse mense sal sê dat hond het 'n bos het, but she when she takes that mic, you know, as moeilikheid. Nie gaan nou trouble wees. You know, that's who she is. She's strong in her faith. It's obviously something for me to work towards. It's big shoes to fill, but I can't do it like Ma. And one of the most beautiful things that she said to me was, you're not me. You have to be you. Be you. You know, even when she preaches, she does things differently. When she walks into the room, there's a different. Now remember, there's years of experience, years of not experiences, but man, experience. That has built up, like lessons that were learned, things that she did. Nou wil ek nou hier kom op my 36 jaar, wil ek nou dieselfde so. No. You know, there's years has gone through that, but I've got my own journey. Even if I reach Ma's age or get there, I'm not going to be Ma. So it's the comparison of comparing yourself with someone else, when really you just have to be who God has predestined you to be.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's one of the things.
I see that question is also with identity. It says, I will stop comparing myself to others. I was created to stand out. And that's so true.
Wow.
Inadequate. You don't have to be inadequate, feel inadequate because you want to be someone else. You know, you must know who you are. And before Viola's going with her next chapter, under identity, I have it's also under stillness, where Joan was saying, your voice matters, your story matters, and you matter.
Wow.
And I think this is for me such a great reminder. If people buy this book and they can go through all these things that she really stipulates here under identity, I'm sure the confusion of who you are, who people say you are, will really step aside, and you will know your voice matter. You know, your story. Doesn't matter how insignificant, how simple your story sound to others. It does matter. And you matter. And I think that is where sometimes we lost it with our identity, because we think, I am not so vibrant. I'm not so outspoken. I'm not visible. I not always put my eyelashes where it's supposed to be. You know, but you still matter. And that to me, it's really so powerful. So identity, it's important to know your identity.
I think that blends in so well with the chapter that I singled out. It was chapter 9, and it says, know yourself. That identity and know yourself just go so well together. And what I liked about it, this is for me a favorite chapter, because once again it challenged me, because the author calls it an inward journey. And that is why this book is so important for every woman, or like you said, even a gentleman that's struggling to find his or her voice in society or purpose, is to go through this book, because Joan the author points it out so nicely. She says, the inward journey is not glamorous. This is on page 124.
That's right.
It's not Instagram worthy. And that is what so many of us make it. And I look at the selfies and no judgment, but then it makes one think, is it just to, is it for yourself or what is your intention?
That's right.
What is your motivation? But she says the inward journey is not glamorous, which means which means it's done in the silence with God's word as your map and the Holy Spirit as your guide. So what she says here is that when you're doing die Engels en die Afrikaans wil weer daai
don't you worry, be yourself, go.
So the author forces us, if I may say so.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
compels us.
That's right.
She makes us say, maak jou introspection doen.
Yeah. I was about to say the same
Verstaan
thing.
jy? And when you do that, so she says here, when was the last time you felt most yourself, right? And what were you doing? That hit a chord in my life. What were you doing when you felt, good about yourself?
That's right.
And what she also says here in this chapter is that sometimes when you do introspection, it's not always going to be nice stuff, because the Holy Spirit is going to reveal some ugly things that is in us that we don't want to deal with. Anka, you mentioned earlier on taking offense.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do you know how important that is? Not to take offense and not to allow the enemy, when Sonia, for example, says something to me and it doesn't sit well with me,
That's right.
and I allow the offense to grow.
Yes.
Offense is something that you can take on or you can refuse
Reject
it.
it.
You
Yes,
can
that's
reject
right.
it.
That's right.
You can immediately
The power
say no.
lies with you.
The power lies with you. But some of us allow it to brood. We brood over
yes.
it. Ons maak dit kleintjies kry, 'n nes kry. And then afterwards, you don't understand why you are acting negatively in a certain way. And we find this especially in the body of Christ.
Yeah.
By die kerkmense, jammer om te sê kerkmense, maar dis nou die Here se waarheid. Kyk, die duiwel het mos sy mense, né?
That's
En
right.
hy het sy mense en hy, but this is something that he gets us as believers.
Yeah.
Is taking offense
So easily.
so
Because
easily.
it's his bait.
It's his bait, because he can't get us with smoking and drinking
right.
anymore. So he gets us with competition
That's
and
right.
comparing
That's
and
right.
and wanting to be the best. But yes, what it like I said, this chapter, knowing yourself, really challenged me. And it says here, I wrote down this: what negative beliefs do you hold about yourself
Sure.
that are not aligned with Scripture?
I like
Yeah.
to hear that.
Yeah, and this is what the author is saying.
That's
She's
right.
asking these questions,
That's right.
which I feel is very important,
Did
very
you
relevant.
put something down? What negative beliefs are holding you down?
Like I said, that's a deep question. That's a great.
Ek wil nou hê die war room
Jy wil
questions
net
nou
hê,
hier
sê-
uitkom.
jy weet, ek
Hy's
wil-
binnekamer
That's
questions.
binnenkamer questions.
I'm just sitting here with my coaching brain.
That's
I
a-
want my client,
Girl.
I forgot I'm on the
You
No,
have
reading.
that's a high grade
No,
question.
You have a
fine.
whole audience.
And you know,
here.
just remember what the author said.
Yes.
She mentioned in a book that this mos nou hy lelike goedjies man, wat die Here mos die Heilige Gees.
Hy is besig met jou.
Hy is besig met jou, maar hy maak jou mos skoon
So
man.
do you
Hy maak jou
say,
skoon.
Vi, you cannot even borrow somebody your book, because sometimes you have to make notes in it for yourself.
I am not-
It becomes so personal.
Ek gaan nie
Absolutely.
my boek deel nie. as
You
ek
know
boeke
what?
kry.
Yeah,
Ja,
we
kan
need
moet
to have
eie
your
boeke
own
kry.
book.
Absolutely. That's the way I feel about this devotional
That's
one.
right.
Nou sê ek, Here, nou sê ek alweer, nou wat as iemand my boek kry? En hulle lees nou my goede, want dis mos nou die diep goede in jou
But
hart.
let it be for them.
Nee.
Yeah, just allow them.
But this is an awesome, even the reflection.
Dis reg.
En ek spring nou, né?
Ja.
Anka, ek spring nou hier, want in dieselfde, there's this chapter.
That's right.
There's day 10 that says know yourself.
Yes.
Right? And something that I found very interesting was when we looked, we did the mirror, right? Maar as jy nou regtig in die mirror kyk, girls, dan sê jy soms, ja, right, kyk die blemishes, kyk die rimpels wat nou al uitsteek en so. Nou sê die author,
Yes.
Joan sê, to know yourself is to stand in front of a mirror without flinching. En ek het alweer gedink, ja, hier's nou weer 'n nuwe woord. And I looked up this word because this is not a word we use every
That's
day.
right.
And flinching meant, according to the dictionary, it's making a quick, nervous moment as a reaction. And the reaction as to pain, fear, and surprise. Sometimes we look in the mirror and we flinch.
That's
Yeah.
Right? And the flinch is a surprise.
That's right.
Kyk nou die
wrinkles.
wrinkles.
Yeah.
The fear is, how am I going to face tomorrow? How am I going to get through this? Right? And what is the other one? And pain. The pain of suffering, the pain of rejection, the pain of whatever. So this, the author says, to see, when we look in the mirror without flinching, we see to not only the reflection, but the layers beneath. So when you look in the mirror, it's like a deep reflection. You see the layers beneath the surface.
That's right.
So you see net vir Sonia,
That's right.
right.
There's something within.
There's something
And that is what the author
within.
is speaking about.
And I think that was really
Definitely.
stood out for me. It's acknowledging the joy and the sorrow, the dreams and the damage, the strength and the shadows. And remember, theme is the shadows. And letting grace
Sure.
hold them all.
Wow.
I love that.
Not you hold them on.
No.
Let grace hold them on.
Let grace hold the wrinkles. Let grace hold the blemishes. Let grace hold the fear, the anxiety, whatever it is that you're facing.
Ladies, sorry, Pastor Anka, I'm going to give over to you now. I think we almost ran out of
He
time.
was about to say.
I just want to put this one that Violet was a whisper of the heart, where it says, how can you begin? I think this is what we can take away today, also from the author. How can you begin nurturing healthy self-love in your daily walk? You see, it's not about doing it over a certain period. It's just day by day.
Yes.
Day by day. How
Yeah.
can you start today?
Yes.
Yesterday you have not done it, but how
Right.
can you start today?
Yeah.
And this is so amazing when Joan put the whispers of the heart. She's giving nuggets
Yeah.
and questions how you can really step forward and move forward. And my closing chapter will be on release the past. That stood out for me, chapter 10.
Yes.
Because I know what was it to hold on to past.
Yes.
I know what was it to always show up in my past.
Yes.
You know, I've
Yeah.
been. When
Yeah.
you introduce first your past before
Right.
you introduce your present.
Right.
And reading this and how Joan give us really nuggets and insight how to continuously let go and release the past. Because if you don't release it, you can't receive something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I really, this is such a testimony whereby I know what it is to release and to receive.
Yes.
So for me, this chapter 10, I mean all the chapters, but chapter 10 was like, again, for me,
Yeah.
a reminder
Yes.
of saying it's important to release the past.
yeah.
You can never move forward with the
And you
past
are not
all the
your
time.
past.
And I'm not my past.
That
I'm not
doesn't
defined
define
by
who
that.
you are.
Exactly.
Yes, right now.
Over to you, Pastor Anka.
I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, every time you read a chapter, and it's just wat julle nou aankyk,
Ja,
en
dit
dis baie nou aangekyk, you know, and or die book, but that's really how it is.
Ja.
You're like, no, this chapter's for me, then you go into the next. No, this chapter's for me, then you go into the next chapter. And for me, if there's, I've had so many conversations with women, and
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, how is Ma? Who is Ma? If you really want to know Pastor Joan, buy her book.
Yeah.
This book is her heart.
That's right.
She poured her heart into this book. So if you really want to know who she is and nuggets and what she's been through, then it's really not that difficult. Get
Yeah.
the book. There's one of the things that she said here. I just want to say, it's in chapter 8, which speaks about you are not inadequate.
Yeah.
And it says, and one of the moments in stillness, she says, how has God shown you that you are more than enough?
Wow.
So it's so important to understand that Ma's a builder by nature.
That's right.
And that's exactly what she did in this book. She's a life coach. And
Yeah.
here she's coaching in a
That's
book.
right.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of the times we can't have that close proximity, but you can. You can do that
That's right.
by buying the book.
That's right.
You know, there's so many things in here, and I was speaking to my husband this morning, and I was saying that you know, when people speak about horror stories of mothers-in-law, I cannot resonate, because in every step of the way, Ma has shown me. She's pushed me. She's she's pushed me to where I am today. But not only has she pushed me, she's held my hand. She shows me the way. And the beauty of it is she is living her legacy. She's still in it, showing the way to go, because that's what she is. She's a founder.
Right.
She and her husband is the founder of Crystal Church.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's got other things that she's founded.
Hey!
She's a founder,
That's
and
right.
the purpose of a founder is to build,
That's
to
right.
establish and to build,
That's right.
and to hand over.
Visionary. She can
Visionary,
see
she can.
far.
And what she's done is that while she's still in stride, she's handed over the baton for us to take the ship to the next port.
That's right.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm incredibly grateful again in die waterbakgeval because my proximity to my mom-in-law, and we just want to say, Ma, we appreciate you, we love you, and we pray blessings upon blessings that this book would reach places that we couldn't have even have imagined it to reach. So just to bring everybody into the comments, we have come to the end of our show. We've got a couple of a minute left, and it says, so the first person here to comment is Jennifer Hansen. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And the reason why I'm so excited,
Hello, mother, all
is
the way
Mom-
from
and there's my
Namibia.
mom.
Yes.
There's my mama bear, all the way from Namibia. She says, hi ladies, watching from Namibia. And then we've got V in the comment. She says, working now. I guess there was a segment that didn't work. I hope it wasn't too long. And then we've got Pastor Eileen that says, good morning, beautiful ladies. And Sarika that
Shout
says,
out, Pastor Eileen. We love
Pastor
you.
Eileen,
you.
you.
and then we've got Sarika Lottering. I keep saying Lottering. You need to change that, Sarika.
Sarika, you must change your surname.
Please. Good morning, beautiful ladies. So thank you so much to everyone joining, and I hope you had a good time on the show. Please remember that the book for today is 250 Rand. That is Where Shadows Whisper, Joan Hendricks. And then there's the planner as well as the daily devotional, each for 150. And then there's the kiddies one. So if you want a combo with the planner, the devotional, and the kiddies book, it's 400 Rand. And then the book
But just for today.
just for today, ladies. So please do hop on the comment section so that we can make contact with you so that we can get this book to you. We really love you to have it. And from my side, it's goodbye until next time.
Goodbye until next time. Don't forget to visit Cape Town.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
wait. I
Yes.
almost forgot. Thank you, Lady S. So she is the reason why she's not in studio today. She is in Cape Town. She'll be having her launch, the book launch in Cape Town
Right.
at Pepe's restaurant. I think it's at the V&A.
To all my Cape Town friends, please go out there.
Yes.
So it's a Saturday. No, I'm lying. Oh, it's the Tiger Valley waterfront. So
yeah.
please, ladies, let's delete that and erase that. It is the Tiger Valley waterfront at 11 o'clock. If you'd like to be there, it's at Pepper's Restaurant. It's 400 Rand for the book, including a meal. So it's, I think that, I mean, if the book is 250, what are you paying for your meal?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying.
I mean, what you paying for the view?
And I've seen the
what you
menu.
paying for the audience?
What do you pay?
So
And
everything.
you have the privilege of her being there to sign the book, be a part of it. So please, ladies, please do join her. And I almost did forget that, but we didn't. That's why we've got lionesses.
That's why I'm here,
That's
my
why
friend.
you're
I'm
here.
looking after your assets.
Thank you, Lady S. We appreciate you.
So from our side, thank you so much and goodbye.
Bless you. Bye.
In the shadows, as I look upon my life, in the shadows, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams. As I look upon my life.